Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2024 for a brand new series on this channel. Today I'm starting a Pro Cyclist mode. Now, I haven't played Pro Cyclist mode in a very long time, maybe 4 years, and I know quite some things have changed, so this is gonna be pretty new for me. As always, I'll play on extreme difficulty with a race day condition setting of 3. And the database I'll be using is the World DB 2024, as usual. Okay, here we go. The first step of Pro Cyclist mode, creating my own rider. I'll keep this fairly simple, myself as a rider, as a pro cyclist, Benji Belgian, Flemish, and so forth. Now this next page is the most important one. What type of rider shall I become? So firstly, I need to select a main axis and a secondary axis, basically my primary and secondary rider type. I can choose between stage races, climber, time trial, sprinter, puncher, Northern Classics, and barrier. The last one is basically attacker. Now, I vividly remember doing a Pro Cyclist mode on this YouTube channel in 2019 where I focused on stage races to try and win every single Grand Tour, including the Tour de France, and we succeeded. In this playthrough, I'd like to try something different. I want to create a Tom Bonen-like character, Northern Classics main axis and Sprinter's secondary axis. Because I'll set myself 2 goals in this series, starting off with my favorite monument, I want to win Paris-Roubaix. And secondly, I want to win the green jersey at the Tour de France. Now let's talk about potential. I'm fairly certain if I choose Grand Champion that I'm gonna become 85 in cobblestone or sprint, but I feel like that's a bit overpowered. So I'm going to go for world class, just under Grand Champion, to give myself a little bit of a challenge. So yeah, here we go. Let's give Belgium a new Tom Bonen to cheer for in the name of Benji Nasen. Okay, it's pretty weird to say my own name in third person, but here we go. Next up, to start a career as a cyclist, we gotta find a team to ride for. So we've got 3 options. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I'm not signing for the Abu Dhabi Continental team, that's for sure. So there's 2 options left, starting off with the Balwaze Track Lions. That's a cyclocross team, but they also ride small races on the road. Or the other option, Team Flanders Balwaze, a continental pro team, so a division higher, but they're a more renowned development team in Flanders. I think both teams will have pretty similar calendars in terms of Belgian 1.1 races, but I will choose Flanders Balwaze. We would start our first season as the 2nd worst rider in the team, but throughout the first year, we'll grow in stats and we'll grow it in the team itself. And importantly, it is a 1-year contract, so after the first year, I can move to another team if I want to. Anyway, here we go. Okay, January 1st, 2024, the start of our career, but I gotta repeat, I haven't played Pro Cyclist mode in a very long time, so I've got no clue what to do now. Let's start here. We've got an email from our team manager, Christophe Sercu, and he says your first steps in the pro world are the start of a great adventure. Our team, Team Flanders Balwaze, is delighted to be able to count on you for the coming season. We also received a second email. For the preparation of your season, the trainer will take care of you. Good. You can already touch base with him for a debriefing on your winter preparations that will determine levels of fitness and tiredness at the start of the season. Okay, looks like we need to decide what level of fitness we start our season with, but I need to see the calendar for that. I need to know which races are coming and how early those races are coming to know if I need to be in shape in January or not. Okay, one thing is certain, we don't need shape or fitness in January because the entire month is empty. And actually, turns out we're only on the start list of 3 races in this entire first quarter, starting off with the Grand Prix Criquelion, the Grote Prijs Jean-Pierre Montserrat, and the Volta Nix Classic in Limburg. Now, these races do fit me as a rider, but I was expecting a bit more when it comes to the calendar. Because yeah, 3 races is kind of just 3 races. Anyway, let's reply to our trainer. We've got 2 options. First of all, a big preparation to be ready at the start of the season. Nope, we don't need that. We'll go for the second one. I did a good preparation without getting too excited. There we go. Let's confirm that. Now, what do I need to do next? I guess one thing I want to do is take a look at our rider itself. Obviously, we can't climb for shit. 53 mountain, 56 medium mountain. When it goes uphill, we're not good. But as expected, our strengths lie in both cobblestone, 68, and sprint, 67. So we can work with that. Especially because these stats will grow as we level up in the game. We can see that level at the bottom of the screen. Progression bonuses, attributes, potential skill points are granted on each level up. Oh yeah, skill points. I completely forgot the skill tree exists, but we've got 0 skill points to put in, so we're gonna have to wait with this one. Now this training page is one I've never used before, but we have to wait until January 2nd, so let's move towards that date. Okay, I've simulated towards January 3rd. Let's take a look at this training page. Okay, this looks pretty complex. So looks like at the bottom we can see our races like the GP Krikelion, and above that I think our fitness levels. So green means general preparation 75 to 85%. On the right it says target your objectives, place the A and B targets to set your objectives. Oh, I can hold this and hover it over to the left and set that objective. Can I remove it by clicking? Yes, okay, I understand. For example, May 19th we are riding the Antwerp Port Epic, basically a flat gravel race. So I'm gonna take this A objective and I'm gonna move this towards there. Is that correct? Yes, I think so. This does mean we are taking a rest week across the Ronde van Limburg though. I'll be honest, I'm too inexperienced to know if that's a problem or not. I was considering putting the Belgian National Championships as a goal, but it looks like the parkour is a bit too hard for us. That being said, the Muur Classic Gerardsbergen, basically a one-day race with the Muur van Gerardsbergen multiple times, I want that as a goal. And I think I want to make it an A target as well. There we go. Now, considering the open space between our first races in February and the actual first objective in May, I think I might want to make our first races a secondary objective. So I'll take this target B and put it over here. Is that possible? Yes, it is. Now, I can also add extra rest weeks if I want to, but I don't know if it's needed yet. So for now, I'll keep this page like this. Basically, one B objective and next to that, 2 A objectives. So it looks like this page is the general training, but there's also this page, the weekly training, and I don't know what that is. Like there's plenty of these abilities like physical, but also sprinting and Nordic classics, but I can't seem to actually do anything on this page yet. Oh, it's because this week has already started. I need to go to the next week to be able to change the stuff for next week. Okay. Looks like we can set up actions for this week, but also some kind of default for all weeks if I don't have specific week actions? At least that's how I interpret this page. Each physical action tick box will allow you to gain 5 XP at the month turn. Then we have stage races, climber, time trial. These are just the general skills that we could select at the start when it comes to our rider type. So I'm guessing I'm going for sprinter, there we go, and Northern Classic. And this does say we need a minimum of 25% required for progression, so we've got that. There's also pull out all the stops to gain a bit more fitness, race-specific preparation. Ooh, this is kind of a panic button. For example, if my preparation goes to shit because of an injury or something, I can activate this, and that will make my progression towards a very imminent target faster, but with the cost of tiredness. Social life? Fuck social life. We don't have that here. Time spent with friends? What friends? And the healing action allows the risk of illness to be reduced. So if we're injured or ill, we can do this and heal faster. And lastly, contract discussions allows the number of contacts of interest to be increased, thereby expanding the chances of finding the best possible team. It's January 3rd, so it's a bit too early for that one. So I decided to add sprint, sprint, and sprint as the first reactions together with physical, so a focus on getting better sprint stats, and next to that, also some experience every month through the physical action. But to be clear, I've got no clue if this is the right thing to do, but I guess we'll find out. Now, before we head to our first race, I was gonna take a look at the team of Flanders Baloise and see which riders are around us, but reality is, we can't see that yet. The stats are invisible to us, and we'll only see that as the career progresses. So yeah, all the preparation done, I think, so I'm ready to get started towards our first race. Okay, 2 weeks later, we have a new email. You do not currently meet the conditions for us to allow you to choose your teammates who will follow the same program as you, but hang in there and it will eventually pay off. Basically, if I become one of the 3 best riders in the team and reach level 5 and have a satisfaction of 75% with I think team management, I will be able to select which riders come with me to the races I go to. Because then I'm so important to the team that I'll have leverage towards the team management. But for now, I don't have that, so we can't do anything. Ooh, I'm liking this one. Our trainer is talking to us. Next week's weather is looking complicated with plenty of rain and cold temperatures for the season. So looks like we have 3 options. First of all, reducing our training a bit to avoid illness, which means that we'll progress a bit less than expected. Secondly, objectives don't wait, so doing the training anyway and risking illness. Lastly, I'll organize myself to get away for a few days in the sun. What does that even mean? Is that me going to Calpe for a few days to avoid riding in the rain? I don't know. I will say that sounds pretty good to me, but is that what it means? Honestly, in the words of Primoz Roglic, no risk, no glory, objectives don't wait, illness risk goes up, let's try it. Please don't get sick, please don't get sick. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No illness yet, no illness yet. Keep going, keep going. No! My rider is sick. I should have seen that coming. But on the positive side, we got 50 points when it comes to our experience, so we're now level 2. Congratulations, you have just leveled up to level 2. Bonus is a skill point and choosing between improvement of attributes or evolution of potential. Yeah, it's definitely going to be progression of attributes because I don't meet the requirements for evolution of potential, which is 75% on those actions. I can select a specialization, but I'm honestly quite happy with Northern Classics because 71 cobble stat, 68 sprint, that's a good improvement. And next to that, secondary stats like flat stat to 69, stamina and resistance to 65, that will come in handy. Okay, we're about to move from general preparation training weeks towards specific preparation, which means I need to do specific preparation actions. So I can only select 2 instead of 4. I'll go with 1 sprint and 1 cobble, I reckon. There we go. And I'll copy this to the active week and all succeeding specific preparation week. So on paper, if I go to the next week, it's the same actions, yes. I'll be honest, for a newcomer, this is not an easy system. I almost forgot, but we can also spend 1 skill point in the skill tree. So let's take a look. One thing is certain, it won't be discovery. I don't care too much about learning about my teammates and so forth yet. On paper, attentiveness sounds like a pretty useful skill, getting more experience each month, so leveling up faster, but I'd rather invest my skill point into something like performance or race because then I'll gain more active XP in actual races. Actually, I think I'll start with a pretty boring one. Training level 1, the buildup of tiredness is slightly reduced beyond 90% fitness. I feel like the earlier I get that, the more it's gonna be useful. So there we go, let's get that one. Anyway, let's continue moving to our first race. There we go, the race day has finally arrived, the GP Criclion is here. 185.4 kilometers and quite a bit of cobbles on the parkour. So I would think this would be a sprint. We'll be taking our first race on with 68 sprint and 71 cobbles, so that's actually not too bad. Now I would be surprised if I get some kind of leader role in this parkour, so I think I'm probably gonna be domestique for someone. Anyway, let's get started. So our first race is about to begin and we gotta be in the breakaway. Our role is barrier, so 130 kilometers in the breakaway is our objective. Let's try and do that, but our position at the start is not perfect. We gotta make our way to the front first before we can attack. Come on, come on, come on. Try to move up. We might miss the train here. Come on, come on. Actually, Hugo Ul is trying to chase that down, so let's wait. Let's wait, let's wait, let's wait. And now we'll try to follow Saver right here. There we go. So good news, we caught the first 2 riders and are now in a breakaway of 5 riders 4 minutes in front of the peloton, but I gotta say it feels quite limiting that I can't just scroll back to the peloton to see who's chasing there, etc. We can only really view this group that we're in. Now, it is important to keep track how many kilometers we are in the breakaway for, because right now on the race strategy page, I can see that we are 30 kilometers into our 130 kilometer quest of being in the breakaway. So 100 kilometers to go, which means that we gotta be in the break until 46 kilometers to go, which is actually quite a long time. So we're past the halfway point in the race and we've only got roughly 22 kilometers actually to go in this breakaway for my objective to be met. So we're looking quite good for that. The gap is still 2 minutes to the next group, which is an attacker from our team from the peloton, La Scrap. So I'm okay with the situation. With 46k to go, there we go, 131 kilometers in the breakaway. So we're overperforming. Now, because it's pro cyclist mode, I don't know much of what's happening in the peloton behind me. I know there's crashes, I know there's attacks, and I might still be able to play a role in this race because I've still got energy. Looks like 3 riders are about to catch up, and they did. We've got Thomas Kopecki, Jarno van der Paar, and Tobias Ludvigsson. So the breakaway is a little bit stronger now. Onto the cobblestones. I'm still in the group, and I've got the energy to follow, I reckon, but I hope these other guys that just joined won't be attacking anytime soon. Let's try and follow them. There we go. Van der Paar setting pace, Ludvigsson taking over, but Benji Nassen is in the group. With 15k left in the race, the future of this group is not looking too bright. The peloton is now 20 seconds behind and Van Asbroek is closing it down, or at least trying to bridge towards it, with the peloton 7 seconds behind him. So I think we're doomed. I've decided to attack the breakaway. Why not? A bit of a Hail Mary together with Tom van Asbroek, who just bridged towards that breakaway. We've got 35 seconds on the peloton. Can we work together, my friend? Come on, Tom. Do something here. Nah, he's just gonna sit in my wheel. I can't believe it. He's not taking over nor helping me. Come on, Van Asbroek. You've got a chance to win a race here. And he's taking over. Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Oh, we've been caught. Just as the cobble sector arises, Liam Slok is trying to close that down. Van Asbroek attacks again. We don't have the energy to do much, so I'm just kind of sitting here already sprinting with 3k to go. Lindsay de Vilder, I haven't heard you all day. And now that I arrive in the peloton, you want me to help you out? I don't even know where you are. You're actually pretty far behind, actually, but we don't have a role to play, we don't have energy left, so I might as well drop back in, try and get Lindsay de Velde a result in this race, but I doubt he's gonna get that because his positioning is awful, so I don't know why you want me to help you, Lindsay. You just gotta be better yourself, mate. Last kilometer, and we could have gotten a better result than you, my friend. You're getting 35th or something. You're awful. In the end, it actually is Tom van Asbroek, our companion from that attack, that ends up winning this race, which I think that's a nice outcome. That being said, talking about nice outcomes, that's not the case for Flanders Baloise. Not a single rider in the top 20, but I feel like I did my job. But the rest of the team, where were you? Looks like we do get a small bonus for finishing our first race in the Continental Division, 10 XP. And because we spent 173 kilometers in the breakaway, according to the game exceptional, we get a whopping 4 XP? Really? That's it? Honestly, that's a lot less than I expected. Anyway, we did finish our first race of our career, so I'd argue that's a pretty big milestone for us. And on that note, that's the end of today's video. As always, thank you for watching this new series, our Pro Cyclist mode on Pro Cycling Manager 2024, and I can't wait to see you next time for the next episode. Goodbye.